On the 30th of June 2014, 28-year-old German tourist Lars Mittank travelled with a small group of friends to the Golden Sands Resort in Bulgaria, a luxury resort located along the coast of the Black Sea. For the entirety of the week, the group lounged on the beach, swam in the pools, played football, and even enjoyed nights out at the local clubs. Lars was noted as being in good spirits, but as the trip drew to an end on July the 6th, the day before Lars and his friends were due to head home, Lars had become embroiled in a bar fight with another tourist over a disagreement about football. He sustained injuries to his jaw and was hit in the ear, causing his eardrum to rupture. After this, Lars decided to leave his friends and head back to his hotel room alone for the rest of the evening, but upon reuniting with them the following morning, Lars claimed that the guy he had fought with the night prior had hired 4 men to beat him up. Before heading to the airport, Lars paid a visit to a doctor who prescribed him Cetrazil, a strong antibiotic used to treat infection, and advised Lars not to fly until he had recovered. Realising that he would not be returning home that day, Lars' friends offered to stay with him so that they could fly back to Germany together once his ear was healed. But Lars did not want to inconvenience them and refused to allow his friends to extend their stay. He simply reassured them that he would be okay by himself, and with his insistence that they should go home as planned, they reluctantly boarded their flights. Lars checked out of the resort on the 7th of July, opting to find cheaper accommodation elsewhere. He chose Hotel Colour, a budget hotel located in Varna, a city closer to the airport. From the moment he checked into the hotel, however, CCTV from inside would show Lars' behaviour growing increasingly erratic. On the footage, Lars could be seen pacing up and down inside the foyer, peeking out of the windows, and even hiding inside the lift. It appeared that he was frightened by something and was becoming paranoid as the minutes bore on. In the early hours of the following day, Lars would abruptly leave the hotel, only returning later on to collect his things before heading to the airport. It isn't known where he went in this time before returning to the hotel for his belongings, nor why he ultimately decided to go against doctors' advice not to travel. The only thing that is clear is that Lars had contacted his mother, Sandra, with a strange phone call. During the call, Lars spoke in a frightened whisper, claiming that 4 men were following him, and he feared that they were going to kill him. The call only grew more bizarre as Lars confessed that he was hiding out in a high place and was afraid to move or else he might fall to his death. It's no surprise that this call had concerned Sandra greatly, but Lars promised that he would keep her updated as he planned to head to the airport. By 5 AM, Lars Mittank did indeed arrive to the Varna airport and placed a second call to his mother to let her know that he had made it safely. Before hanging up the phone, Lars stated that he was going to see the on-site doctor to be checked over before he boarded his flight. But Sandra could tell by her son's voice that he was deeply afraid of something. After this phone call, Lars made his way to the airport doctor, Dr. Kostov, who advised Lars that he should not fly with a ruptured eardrum, telling him that the changes in altitude could result in death. Desperate to return home, however, Lars went against this advice and informed the doctor that he was going to continue with his scheduled flight. Dr. Kostov made Lars sign a declaration form taking full responsibility for any harm that came to him as a result. As the meeting with the doctor drew to a close, a construction worker reportedly entered the examination room where Lars was, causing him to abruptly jump up from his seat and shout, "I don't want to die here, I need to get out of here." Without a moment's notice, Lars sprinted from the room, leaving his luggage, passport and phone behind, and ran frantic through the airport terminal. He darted past the boarding gates and check-in desks with the only goal to make it outside into the open. Once outside, CCTV captured him running through the car park, before scaling a large security fence surrounding the perimeter. The final frame the cameras would capture of Lars was him running off into the surrounding woods. As days passed by with no sign of Lars, A large-scale investigation ensued, with his concerned family even hiring their own private detective, but no trace of him was found. As the case gained widespread media attention, many began to speculate about what could have caused such a reaction from the missing man. Soon, many doctors came forward to suggest that Lars may have suffered a psychotic side effect brought on by the prescribed medication for his ear. In rare cases, it had been known to induce paranoia and hallucinations. However, Dr. Kostov cleared this up by stating that Lars had not even filled out his prescription form and had not taken any of the medicine. Therefore, his behaviour had not come as a result of ingesting the drug. It was also considered that Lars may have suffered a mental breakdown, although his mother Sandra said that her son had no history of mental illness. Sadly, from here, the case grows cold. In December of 2016, there was a glimmer of hope in the case when a man was found walking barefoot along a Brazilian highway. He was disorientated and bore no identification, claiming to not have any recollection of who he was. As images of the man circulated across social media, many noticed the striking resemblance to that of the missing Lars Mittank. Unfortunately for Lars's hopeful loved ones, the man was soon identified as missing Canadian Anton Pilipa, who had been missing for 5 years. He was later reunited with his family. Sandra was heartbroken but glad for Anton's family to finally have him home. Still holding on to the belief that her own son is still alive, she prays that Lars's case will one day have a similar outcome. There have been many unconfirmed sightings of Lars in the years since he fled the airport, with a truck driver coming forward in 2019 claiming to have given Lars, who by this time had a beard and long hair, a ride. It has now been 11 years since Lars Mittank was last sighted. He is considered the most famous missing person, with the footage of him sprinting through the airport having been viewed more than 16 million times. As of 2025, the case remains unsolved.